Hey guys, so let's talk about this hidden switch mod situation. It's like hopefully just a few minute install. I don't have it all complete yet, but I just wanted to get the information out there so you could sort of see how it gets installed and what the process is and how easy it is. So what we have here, what you should have is this switch attached to the Maelstrom ramp like this with two screws on top, and on it there is this black cover. It's just a piece of rubber or whatever. Just pull it off. Comes right off. So that you don't need anymore. And then you're going to unscrew this switch. Two screws on the top. Make sure you use a screwdriver and hold this tab while you're doing it because they're, at least on mine, were torqued down pretty tight. So you don't want to bust your ramp. Once that's unscrewed, the switch comes out, and these wires will be going down inside the playfield. You're going to look for them under the playfield. It's green wire with a yellow stripe and a white wire with a purple stripe. Okay, ooh. Oh, there we go. I'm going to pause the video and lift up my playfield. You're going to leave the switch sort of just hanging here. You could do this before and then reverse the situation so the switch isn't hanging here. It doesn't matter, but you basically just need to go unplug it from under the playfield. All right, so what you'll find under the playfield is coming through, I believe, this hole right here. Okay, so that hole, just so you can see, is right next to that rail, right there, right in there. Just trace it from above the playfield. And what you'll have coming through that hole is this plug. Just a 2-pin plug. It's got those colored wires on it, and it goes to the same colored wire plug here. 2 wires in each. Just unplug that, and then you're going to feed this end, that end, and it will be like this coming out of the hole, back up through the playfield, because you're going to take the switch out from the top. You're going to take the new switch that we've provided you, and we'll have the same sort of end on it like this, and you're going to feed it back down through the top of the playfield through this hole. I'm going to provide you a long white zip tie that you can use to feed up through that hole and tape the end of this new switch onto it to pull it back down through the hole. It's just sort of like a guide wire, so it's not so difficult to try to feed it through the hole. It's possible to do it without the zip tie, but it just makes it easier. Okay, so you're going to pull the new switch down through the hole and connect it up with the same green and white wires there on that connector. It can only go one way. The wires will not be this color though on the one you get because there's no reason to match them. And we'll go back up to the top of the playfield. So now what you'll have coming out of the top of the playfield is the end of that switch, and I'm holding the switch in my hand. I'm not comfortable showing all of this on video, so you'll have the switch, and you'll also have the switch attached to the mod. Once you see the mod, it will be very clear what you need to do with it. So if you have the mod with the switch installed and it's run down through the hole, sorry, I'm looking for it here. Got a lot of stuff sitting here. One second. Okay, got it. So all you need to do is take the mod and put it under the ramp like this. Again, don't want to show too much. And there are 2 holes in it that slide right on the 2 metal prongs for the ramp. So if you look under here, there are 2 metal prongs that just extend off the bottom of the ramp there. And the switch mod just slides on those. You may need to gently squeeze them together or spread them apart depending on your ramp, but we've tested it on a few and should fit no problem. The tip of the mod, this guy, sticks out the front of the ramp, just sort of like that. And it will stick up high enough that the ball is able to tap it and make the switch work. If it doesn't, this is just a normal leaf switch, so all you have to do is adjust the leaf switch by bending the tabs, the leaves. This piece right here is a heavy spring that's going to prevent this lower leaf from going too far. So that's one of your adjustments, to make sure that the bottom is close enough to the top for the ball to make the contact. The other thing is that since this piece, this is a prototype, so yours is not going to look like this, is a fixed height, you can adjust this top switch to get higher up so the ball can hit it. So basically, it's just a little bit of tweaking. I highly suggest a leaf switch adjustment tool. You can get those at Pinball Life or Marco. Worst case, use some mini like needle nose pliers or something like that to just gently bend these tabs, these leaves, to make the right kind of contact for when the ball goes over it. Put your game in test switch mode test, so you can see when the switch is being closed, and know that the ball is properly hitting it. Take the ball, just run it around the Maelstrom ramp a few times and make sure that it properly closes the switch. Again, just adjust the leaves so that every time the ball goes by, it taps the switch once. So that should be easy. I mean, it's almost probably going to take less time than this video. Next, I'm going to pause the video and just give you a little bit of info on cutting that tab off in case you want to do that. So let me pause. So here's my suggestion on cutting this tab off. If you're adventurous, do it in the game. Don't hold me to that. It's on your own, but what I suggest is that you probably want to take the ramp out and get it like situated in a nice spot, and not get all this junk in your game when you cut it off. I would tape up the ramp as much as possible, really covering everything, because if you just happen to nick something, the tape might protect it. If you have thicker tape and it's not going to leave junk on the ramp, go for it. There are many ways to cut this tab, and probably some easier, safer ways to do it. But what I found really helpful is this kind of blade. They sell it on Amazon, of course. Probably get it at Home Depot. But basically, it's a little circular saw blade, and the pack I got comes with like probably at least 5 different sizes. So choose a size that you're comfortable with. Go on slow speed. Make sure you go the direction of the teeth, so you're cutting into the plastic and not off the plastic, because it will bind and kick back if you're not cutting in the right direction. And also, I would test cut some other stuff first if this is your first time doing it. I'm just going to basically follow the line around the top of the tab there. And then I'm going to leave probably a 1/16 or a 32nd of an inch tab sticking out. I feel like even if there's a little tab sticking out, it's going to look a lot better. But at the same time, I'm going to try my best not to touch the actual ramp that's going to stay there, because I don't want to nick it and have that ugliness. And then possibly you can just sand the ramp down with some fine sanding paper on a drum, on your Dremel as well. To take off that last like 1/16 or 32nd of an inch. You can use progressively finer sandpaper on your Dremel or by hand, and round over the edges and sort of just try to get the detail as close to possible as the rest of the ramp. And if you're even more savvy at the end, you can use a butane or a propane torch, depending on what you have, and something that's small, to flame polish the ramp. I suggest go look at some videos on YouTube about flame polishing ramps. But that's how you can finish the ramp and make it look new again after you sanded it. So if you don't like the tab and you want to remove it, that's probably one of the easier ways to do it. The other option is that we're coming out with a wave mod that basically is going to take a wave off the back of the ramp here and bring it around and over the top of the tab. And that tab is going to act as the support for the wave, and the wave will also obviously cover the tab. So that's another option if you want to not only further decorate your ramp, but have the tab hidden and not cut it off. So basically leaving your game entirely stock and able to reverse any of the mods. So I think that pretty much covers everything. I'm going to cut this tab off here and see if the video will stay paused for that. Maybe I'll splice it together later, but that's pretty much what I've got. We'll see how this goes.